All right, so the Bears in their quarterback situation, they don't want to start Fields before week 4. What is week 4, you may ask? Well, they're playing the Detroit Lions. Well, what a better time to start your rookie QB than against the Lions. I mean, I can't hate on their thought process here. But the Bears want their defense to come up big for Andy Dalton to be able to manage the team for now, and so that Fields has these first few weeks to learn. So, you guys, how do you foresee all of this going down?
I love this from Chicago. I'm a big fan of this. Why? Week 1, we all understood. You don't want to send Justin Fields out. It's the first game against probably one of the best teams in football, and you don't want him to be eaten alive by Aaron Donald. You got him out there. He scored a rushing touchdown. Cool. Nice trick play, regardless. Chicago needs to sit him till week 4 because there's no better scenario than to walk into week 4 as Justin Fields with Allen Robinson, David Mooney, Cole Kmet, David Montgomery. They've got, okay pieces. It's not, top of the league, but it's okay. It's good. And I get to go against a secondary that doesn't have Jeff Okudah, a secondary that got washed by Deebo Samuel and the San Francisco 49ers, a defensive line that basically put zero pressure on Jimmy Garoppolo, an immobile quarterback. And I have Justin Fields. It is the perfect matchup for Chicago. I couldn't envision a better scenario. I like the way they're thinking. I think that's the right thing to do. And it's only 3 games. And if Andy Dalton can only get you 1 win in the next 2, that you walk in 1-2, you're playing Detroit, you likely win that game, and now you're 2-2, and you have the whole season ahead of you to figure out if you're going to make the playoffs or not. I think it's a great move. I love the way they're thinking, Jeff.
Yeah, I think clearly the perfect scenario for Matt Nagy and Ryan Pace is Andy Dalton to be their starter for majority of the year. But, and you use Justin Fields and like you said, goal line plays, third and shorts, just trying to use his athleticism. But if they continue to lose football games, we could very well see Justin Fields starting. And I think against the Detroit Lions, not trying to beat a dead horse, but again, the secondary is a very, very unproven secondary besides Amani Oruwariye. So throw him out there and see what he can do. Why not? Pass rush wasn't getting to Jimmy G. They probably feel comfortable getting their offensive line out there, but it's better to start Justin Fields and let him gain experience. Doing the Trey Lance route or the Taysom Hill and Jameis Winston route where you cycle out quarterbacks, it's better to leave Justin in, let him even make the mistakes, and let him just gain experience playing NFL football. That's the most important thing. I mean, if you look at just strictly quarterback to quarterback, Andy Dalton is only going to elongate the timetable for the Bears to get back into playoff contention. I think we all mutually agree. He's not going to bring them, to the promised land anytime soon. So Justin Fields is clearly the younger, more dynamic quarterback. And the only thing stopping him is NFL experience, which he has a chance to do this season if they start losing. So
the Lions are the perfect fit for you to experiment against. They just lost Okudah. Their linebacking core, question marks. Defensive front, where's the pressure? Secondary, huge question marks. The offensive side of the ball, they were held. Keep in mind, they scored 24 points in the fourth quarter, I believe. Was it?
Yes.
Was it 24?
Mm-hmm.
Whatever it was. They didn't do anything the whole game. If you're Chicago, you're feeling good. You only gave up 31 to probably one of the most dynamic offenses in the NFL in the Los Angeles Rams. You were able to run the ball. David Montgomery ran over 100 yards on the Rams defense. If you ran over 100 on the Rams defense, what is he going to do against Detroit? This is kind of the mindset Chicago's in. I like it. I think they're doing the right thing. I think it's the best way to protect Justin Fields, especially now you've seen Detroit lose against San Francisco. And I think they'll be more confident of their decision if Detroit goes to Lambeau and gets handled, let's say, or maybe even if they just lose barely. Regardless, all right, we believe in Justin Fields enough to send him out there to win this football game for us. And they probably could beat Detroit with Andy Dalton, but I think the Lions have a lot of addressing to do. I'm really concerned for them. Derek Barnes needs to be starting. You just got to throw these kids out there. That's it. You're 0-1, all right? You don't have the talent to compete in the NFC North. 9-10 wins, sure, might win the division this year, but just from what we've seen in week 1. But you can't write off the Vikings, let alone the Packers this early. The Vikings got to Joe Burrow 5 times. What'd the Lions do? Kirk Cousins threw for over 300 yards, actually downfield, not dumping off to his running back. What'd the Lions do? Green Bay did lose 38-3. They have Aaron Rodgers, Devontae Adams, Aaron Jones, Matt LaFleur. What do the Lions have? Dan Campbell, Jared Goff, Tyrell Williams out in concussion. Quintez Cephas, there's your number one. Here we go. Who's your running back? I'll agree. DeAndre Swift, Jamal Williams. I like it. That's all I like. Really? That's what we got? Lions got decisions to make. I just think you throw the kids out there, let them play, let them learn the hard way. You're not playing for anything this year. There's no reason to keep these veterans in 30, 40, 50 snaps. I want more A.J. Parker. I want more Derek Barnes. I want more defensive line rotations. I want to see pressure on the quarterback. You're not going to know until they're on the field. And again, this just lines up so perfectly for Chicago. I am sure they are. If you're a Chicago Bears fan, you woke up this morning hearing the news like, wow, that makes sense. I'm excited. If we can just get one game out of the next two, I'm feeling really good about our season ahead.
So I think the players are even more excited as well. Because if let's say you're Khalil Mack, you're 30 years old, you got Andy Dalton starting for your team, all right? Or you're even Allen Robinson. Andy Dalton's throwing you the ball, and you know who's behind him. You know who they took this year, traded up to get, and you know how special Justin Fields can be. They obviously played with him in training camp. How excited they must be, or how sick if Andy Dalton really finished or at least played most of this season, that gets under the player's skin, man, because they want to win now, and I think Justin Fields gives them a better opportunity. Yes, he's due for more mistakes, but I think the upside is there, considering if he might, throw some interceptions. It is what it is. The kid's only going to get better and better each mistake he makes. He scored, I think, on the Wonderlic test among one of the highest among quarterbacks. So he's very intelligent, and he processes information very quickly for an Ohio State quarterback. So, I'm excited for. Obviously, I'm not excited as a Detroit Lions fan, but excited for his career individually because he needs to start sooner than later. I think it'll only benefit him more.
Yeah, and again, there's no better time. You got Cincinnati this week, and then you play away, I believe, to Cleveland. That's going to be a tough game. I don't see Chicago winning in Cleveland. Having said that, if they can beat Cincinnati, Justin Fields is walking into a great position where all he needs to do is win that game against Detroit. They're 2-2. They can look ahead to the next 13 games like, you know what? I think we can have a winning record because we believe in this guy. It boosts the locker room, boosts the coaching staff's expectations, their confidence. I like Fields. You saw the quickness. You saw the elusiveness in short bursts. He completed both of his passes against L.A. I like it. Allen Robinson, as long as Allen Robinson is healthy, Justin Fields will have a good year. Cole Kmet, Jimmy Graham, they're good pieces. They're good checkdowns. It's a safety option. I like the situation for Justin Fields. I really, really do.
Yeah, I think starting Andy Dalton only hurts. I mean, look at the long-term effect with Andy Dalton. What are you keeping him beyond? You're probably not this year, probably not next year. So why? It might be a chance for Matt Nagy and Ryan Pace to keep their jobs longer because they say, well, this guy's in the waiting. We have him in the waiting to come up. He's just learning. He's just processing. But it's not a hard of a decision. You start Justin Fields, and as much as I don't want to see him play against Detroit Lions, I think it's a good time to start him. I think midway through the season, keep that momentum going. And if you're already losing football games, there's absolutely no reason why he shouldn't be starting. If Andy Dalton isn't winning you football games, why is he out there? That's my question, and that'd be mine. If I'm Ryan Pace, I'm asking myself that question, and you're making decisions happen. So, Justin Fields, I think he'll be fine. Out of all the quarterbacks, you saw Trevor Lawrence in Game 1. In the 3 touchdowns, 3 interceptions. You think anybody's worried about him coming into his future? No. So start Justin Fields and let him make those mistakes. Maybe you'll make him against the Lions. Never know.
I like it. And then you have 4 quarterbacks now starting in the NFL that are rookies. Mac Jones, Zach Wilson.
Beating out these vets.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Trevor Lawrence. And now Justin Fields ideally by week 4. I like it. I can't complain about it.